Friday, I went to the theater. Not yesterday, the previous Friday. We got some tickets for Cinderella, the West End show. So we went to the Gillian Lynn Theatre in Covent Garden to see it. 3 families with the children. You know the story, right? Well, forget about it. I'll tell you the new version. Revised for the agendas of planet bullshit. You be the judge. The venue was pretty decent. Not very big, like medium-sized. Classy. The decors were spectacular. 2 minutes into the show, I felt like I'm in the middle of London Pride. You know? The gay parade. One of these events that occur annually in every capital of the world. All the choreography, the costumes, the moves, the looks of the dancers. All about it was unmistakably stamped with the stamp of LGBTQR XYZ FUCKS. Anyhow, the storyline. Cinderella was played by a very talented young black lady, just like in the fairy tale. She knew the prince from her early childhood, not just like in the fairy tale. They were childhood friends. She lived with her cruel, evil whore of a stepmother and her beautiful but stupid sluts stepsisters. They used her and abused her like a slave. The prince in question had a brother, older brother, years ago. He died. And there was a monument built in the village square in his memory. His brother's name was Prince Charming. So one night, the villagers caught Cinderella desecrating his dead brother's memorial by drawing with graffiti a huge black dick on the monument, a monster cock, a meter long. I saw it with my own eyes. And all the children in the audience saw it too. Some of them laughed. Some of them were too young to understand what's going on. Luckily, they were too young to understand the dialogues, the script, the obscenity of the language, the vulgar expressions, the filth. I was speechless. Anyhow, we got through the first part of the play, and I went to the bar to get a drink, a pint of ale. I came back in the hall, eager to get it done with and go home. But the play didn't resume immediately. Instead, they announced a delay. I joked with my friends, whatever happened, perhaps somebody died. We waited another 10-15 minutes, and then a speaker came forward and apologized yet again for the delay and asked if there was by any chance a doctor in the audience to help with a medical incident. Now, let me guess what that might be. I suppose one of those normal seizures, heart attacks, or mini strokes. Part of our everyday life. I mean, how many times that happened when you were viewing a play? Well, they said that it was a member of the public who needed the doctor. And I believed them. Yes, I believed them. We had to pack it up and go home because the play was cancelled. By the way, when we got down to the exit, I saw the prince, the real actor, already dressed into his civilian clothes, not in his ridiculous costume, of course, going home. And I overheard his conversation with another guy saying that the victim was in fact okay. He survived the medical problem. And I gather the victim was part of the crew, one of his colleagues. So I went home and I wanted to find out how the story ends because I couldn't finish the play, of Cinderella West End show. And I read through the script. And indeed, there was a happy ending. Let me relight. Like in all good fairy tales, it ends up with a marriage, a wedding. So apparently, the prince's dead brother shows up out of nowhere. Explaining that, in fact, he did not die, but faked his own death because he wanted to avoid being forced into an arranged marriage. He did not want to get married to a stupid and beautiful princess, you know. Why would he? Instead, he wanted to get married to a prince. And he brought forward his lover. And they got married. So, Cinderella ends up with a gay marriage. Like in all good fairy tales, of course. If you don't believe me, check the script. By the way, our friends bought the tickets for this show from the children's school. The school was distributing the tickets. Coniston got pluck in the Big Ben, Barbados. Enjoy smokes.